What's up? Fantasy football
What's
season's over. It's over. Oh God. All right. Jason, just get it out of the way. How you living? How you
I'm
doing?
so strong. Triple crown strong. 3 shots of crown strong.
Who all did you beat to win those?
You twice. And some asshole named Alex Rod. I don't know. He's
I
got a
don't know who
pod
that is.
he's got a podcast, we assume.
Probably.
Probably Shane would probably have to
Yeah.
clear that up for us. But hey, Alex Rod, you're an asshole. Also, you didn't even fucking set your lineup. Like you left someone CEH. He didn't take CEH out. Like what a piece of shit. You go all the way to the championship and you don't set your lineup. Yeah, I deserve to win that one. Fuck him.
Terrible.
Yeah,
Terrible.
and you know what's funny? He played me better than you did in both leagues. I beat your ass without any worry whatsoever.
Listen,
And
we're
then
gonna
this
say some
guy who
things.
doesn't even fucking set his lineup is way better than you.
So that just lends to my argument that in this very instance, fantasy football is all about luck. Not in the leagues that
Ah!
I won. In the leagues that I won, it's all about skill, perseverance,
Uh-huh.
but no, I will officially, I haven't done this yet. I'm going to do this for the pod. Officially, congratulations. Jason beat me for the second time in 3 years, I think. Yeah, because the last one was 2019
Yeah,
in our league of record, like keeper league.
trophy
That's
league.
my third year in a row in the championships, and I've got second place 3 times in a row. That's real cool. I'm all right. I'm okay.
Yeah.
I did win 2 out of my 5 championships. One of them was an IDP best ball league, but we're not going to talk about that. But I did win the championship. But yeah, man, congratulations, Jason. Jason took down both of the multiverse leagues that we talked a little bit about last week. I'm curious. I want to talk to Shane and see if that's been done before. Because if it hasn't, I think that he owes you some sort of compensatory, some sort of prize. So
Yeah, I mean, look, I told you at the beginning of the season, man. Like, I wanted to win both those leagues for this podcast. We were playing with a bunch of other podcasters, a bunch of other journalists. Hell, like, just to give the people a little bit of context here. Like, I don't know how many viewers we have right now, but
a
just to
million.
give a
There's a
million,
million people
there's
watching.
a million people watching right now.
Yeah.
But
Kind
look,
of a
to
big deal.
give you some context. So when I joined these leagues, I was new to podcasting, and Erik has been doing this for a while. Erik's published, Erik has some esteem, and
The most.
the most esteem, and he's like, he's trying to bring me up proper, and I don't know what the hell I'm doing at first, and so I'm just out here schooling about the game, and then all of a sudden I'm playing these guys, and like they're taking forever to draft, and I started bitching, right? And like immediately Erik just like shuts me down. He's like, yo, shut the fuck up. Dude's on his show. He has Field Yates on his show. Like, shut the fuck up. He'll draft when he wants to draft. And I'm like, oh, we're playing those kinds of dudes? And when I found that out, I was like, no, fuck that. And we've had Shane on the show, and I really respect Shane. I think Shane's an amazing fantasy football player. And so I was like, bro, we have to win this, me and you. And he was there, but I won both of them. And
I got second and third.
I can't. Yeah, he was second and third. So we took top 3 in both leagues. And I'm not trying to shit on anybody else or anyone else's podcast, but hey, we're still kind of babies. We're still kind of new, and guess what? We can fucking play. So if you didn't notice, just goddamn now, we can fucking play. Let us in your leagues.
And we will destroy you. No, yeah, man. I mean, that's a super awesome feat. Are you a little bit sad that fantasy's over? Like
oh yeah,
redraft or whatever is over right now?
oh fuck yeah. And I'm like turning, and then you turn to reality, and whatever your actual team is, it's like
yeah. That's true. And that's a good segue, because we're going to be talking. So this episode 43 here, we're going to be talking about basically just rewinding or reviewing on a surface level the 2021 fantasy football season. We're going to do an awards show at some point, a lessons learned at some point. We're going to do all that like deep dive stuff. But this is just going to be a real fun show. We're going to just talk about who the hell surprised us
Yeah.
Jamar Chase. And who we hit on, who we missed on, a bunch of different things. Just FYI, if y'all are watching and you're commenting in my personal Facebook, I cannot get those messages. So if you go over to the Fantasy Friends Facebook, we can get your messages on there. Yeah, something weird with the platform, with the restream that we're using. But let's get into it, Jason. It is time for you talking good.
You talking good.
We had some juicy little tidbits this weekend. Number one, and I I don't know, I don't even know how to describe this. Antonio Brown takes his clothes off,
Whew.
runs off the jumping jacks off the field. He doesn't run, he jumping jacks off the field. Doing the peace in the one sign. I don't know if he's saying 1-2 for Tom Brady or he's gone. He gone.
Oh, he's gone. Good. Yeah, good and gone.
Does he play another snap in the NFL?
No. No, and because no GM would ever allow it. Look, I've heard some really persuasive arguments. I've heard that, they held him out because. So basically, all right, before I even get into this, I always say there's three sides to a story. There's yours and the truth. And what I'm hearing is simply this. Antonio Brown was upset about his usage during the game. He thought he could have scored on some plays that he wasn't put in on. He basically wanted to be in the game at certain times. He also has an ankle injury. He was also on a snap count. So Arians had to pick and choose when he used him. And, you're playing an opponent. You're playing an opponent, that, yeah, you need him, but quite yet at that point in the game. I could see where any head coach would be like, let me keep my one late into this game just in case, in case the GOAT can't keep us alive. And I feel like he bailed on his team way too early because he got emotional about his contract deal. I think he was like owed $300,000 for
There was
different
some
things.
incentives.
Yeah, he had different incentives that he would have hit during the game. I don't have it in front of me, but yeah, and I just think it was two different sides of the business happening in real time on the field, and you just rarely see that. And so I think, but this is what happens. This is what and Antonio Brown. This is where I stand on it. Antonio Brown put himself in this situation because I've seen, since I can remember, big-time receivers get signed late in their career and given incentive-based packages. I've seen that for a long time. But Antonio Brown probably wouldn't be dealing with this if he hadn't had all the issues beforehand. He wouldn't be dealing with an incentive-based package. So, we can just point fingers all day, but at the end of the day, no one else is going to give him one because they see how he's going to treat it now. And he's not worth he's worth very little in a one-year deal. So don't see it.
Yeah, definitely agreed. I've heard different things too that he didn't want to go back in because he thought his ankle was too bad. But I'm looking at something right now that's basically saying it's basically about incentives. Like he needed to play 45% of snaps if the Bucks won the Super Bowl. He had to have played 45% of the snaps if the Bucks won the Super Bowl to get X amount of money. So honestly, like you said, Jason, there's three sides to every story. We'll probably never know the actual truth, but suffice it to say, Antonio Brown is done. I hope you got, you traded him in Dynasty for at least a second rounder or something like earlier in this season when he was going off. I kind of doubt it because you probably needed him. But anyways, enough about Antonio Brown. In my opinion, good riddance. He's kind of a pain in the ass to talk about.
Yeah, he's not someone I've put any stock in. I think I have zero stock in Antonio.
I think I have one share of him in one of the multiverse leagues, but that's it. Speaking of, Antonio Brown used to be a great receiver, maybe still a little bit. Speaking of the new hotness, Jamar Chase breaks Justin Jefferson's freaking rookie receiving yards record with 3 exclamation points, 264 exclamation points. Like,
Yeah.
excuse me, the dude just went the hell off.
Yeah, and so much more of it was Yak than Jefferson's. So
The kid is good,
it's
man.
it's impressive on another level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like we talked about last week, and maybe even the week before that, this Bucks offense going into the playoffs, I don't think nobody wants to see them. Nobody.
You mean the
Nobody wants
Bengals?
to see them. Did I say Bucks? I'm
Bengal?
sorry. Yeah,
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 you said
Bengals.
Bucks. Bengals
Thank you.
offense, yeah.
Yeah, it's Bengals offense. Joe Burrow has over 800 yards and 4 touchdowns in 2 games. I'm sorry, eight touchdowns and 800 yards. Excuse me, in 2 games. So
Yeah, as a Titans fan, I'm very hopeful that they fuck up really bad in the first round.
yeah,
I'm very hopeful of that.
you're like keep their ass away from
Yeah, let's
us.
get some, newbie mistakes here.
Yeah, yeah. And then, so I mean, really, what else can we? We're going to talk about Jamar Chase a little bit more later in the show, so we'll save that. But suffice it to say, the kid is good.
Oh yeah.
And then, Jason, this is your note in here. I didn't even see this, or I didn't
You
hear
haven't
about
seen
this
it yet?
until later in the
Okay.
day.
Okay.
But the Washington football team, all time worst name, February 2nd, they came out and said they're going to, reveal what's going to be the future of their franchise. That's the surname, if you will.
Mhm.
Do you know some of the options?
It's between admirals and commanders.
Awful. That's it.
Yeah.
They could have had the Red Wolves.
Yeah.
There was something else
Apparently,
awesome
there
in
were
the book.
copyright issues with it. They actually came out and said we couldn't do it, even though we wanted to. So
The
they wanted to be the
Commanders
Red
and the
Wolves.
Admirals.
They wanted to be the Red Wolves, but they couldn't make it happen because somebody's an asshole. I think there was like a Tosh.0 about the guy who went out and bought all the names and then like refused to let the let Dan Snyder have them. And so like he's probably like holding it hostage for like an unreal amount of money because
I
he
mean,
went out and copyrighted Red Wolves.
smart move on him, but now he's not
Yeah,
going to get anything because he played too hard of
he
a
played
ball. But I just like
right.
your take on this. You wrote in the show doc here. Confirmed stars on the uniform.
I
How
saw
bad
him.
does Washington want to be Dallas?
I saw them, dude. Can you believe? Like what Commanders versus Cowboys, and you both come out with stars on your uniforms? Like, come on,
Terrible.
man. I don't know about all this.
I dislike that name to like both of those names. I dislike a lot.
And since I put that in the show doc, I actually saw some forums and I watched the Twitter vid. I don't know if you've seen the Twitter little trailer they did, but in the trailer they unbox a helmet and hand it to Ron Rivera, and Ron Rivera is sitting in front of all glass. So if you just screenshot it and zoom in, which is what the internet's doing, you see their helmet is just one giant W. So it's like they didn't even really change anything. Like, dude, it's going to be the most underwhelming thing you've ever seen. Like, and they kept talking about how the uniforms are so clean and like the stars are just like up here. So they're basically coming out in blank uniforms with that burgundy and gold with some stars on their necks and a helmet with a W on it. And I mean, it's just like, oh.
So are they trying to be like 4-star generals? That's kind of like their
I get,
because like
yeah,
like they wear their stars right there. Ugh,
yeah.
that's just, dude.
It's so
Another
tacky.
letdown from a letdown, like an organization full of letdowns. It
That's
bums
the
me out.
worst. It
It
did no
doesn't bum me
fan.
out actually because I hate them.
There
But
was no fan service involved in it whatsoever. It's just, I don't know. I told our buddy Bryson, I'm like, dude,
yeah,
this is the perfect time to get out. Just get out. Everyone will understand. Like, no one would ever give you grief over it. Like,
no,
anyone. And, let's just put it
go
out
like
there.
the Panthers. Like,
Yeah, like there are so many other teams to like. Virginia touches a lot of states. You could just be a Ravens fan. I mean, get out. Save yourselves.
Titans fan.
You be a Titans fan. We touched Tennessee. I get
Yeah,
that.
Panthers.
Panthers.
I mean, you're close enough to a lot of different places to really.
We touched North Carolina. Yeah. South. Wait, I'm not a geography.
Close enough to Georgia.
Yeah.
I mean,
close enough. Yeah, I know a lot of Falcons fans. Hey, and you could just be stupid like Erik and like the Cowboys, or shitty like Tran.
You mean the NFC East champions?
Yeah, those guys. And then you could be just stupid as shit like Tran. Eric's stupid, but Tran's stupid as shit. Let's make sure we hear this. So if you want to be a Steelers fan, and hey Keith, if you're listening to this tomorrow morning, go fuck yourself. Ben Roethlisberger sucks, and I'm glad he's fucking retiring.
And he gone.
Yeah, and I won 3 championships, and you straight up didn't. And fuck you, tighten up. We're probably gonna win the Super Bowl. Fuck you, Keith. Remember that when you see us, I hope you see the Houston Oilers. I hope that's all you can see.
Oh, God.
I hope you see Warren Moon shitting on your grave. I hope you see him.
He's gonna be so. He's gonna hate. He's gonna be laughing at that part, but he's gonna hate it at the same time because he knows it's true.
Yeah,
he knows it's true. All right, man. So let me pull something up real quick. But our next segment here, we're going to. Jesus Christ, what is going on? Damn Google Docs. Our next segment is going to be the surprises, the fantasy football surprises of 2021. We already mentioned one of them. I've got some. What I did was basically I went to the Yahoo. The only league I play on Yahoo is that one. Is Jason and I's oldest keeper.
Oh,
league.
we hate it. We hate the fucking.
We keep
app.
trying to change it to sleeper or something better, but we got some old curmudgeons in there.
A stubborn idiot.
Well, what I did was I went and I found the MVP section. If you've ever used Yahoo, in the research section, you can go find MVPs. And those are the players who appear most often in the top 500 public league teams. Shit. Jason, take a quick guess at who's number one.
That appears number one.
So who would you say has been the number one MVP based off of where you had to draft him or where he finished? Who would you think is number one? Just off the top of your head. I don't know if you've even seen this yet.
JT, I guess.
JT is, I believe, number 2, actually.
Okay.
He's number 2. Yep, he's number 2.
So Mahomes or
no, not Mahomes. If anybody's got
Kamara?
Nope. If anybody has any guesses, throw them in the chat. I'll give Jason a couple more guesses. He's gonna feel like such an idiot.
I'm gonna think. Yeah, I'm gonna feel really dumb.
You know who it is?
Jesus Christ! No,
he was on both my dynasty team and my and
Cooks.
No.
Cooper Kupp.
Kupp.
Okay.
Cooper Kupp, man. So this fool was his ADP at the beginning. So if anybody doesn't know, if you're unfamiliar with the term, we'll be using this a lot through the offseason, so I'll kind of keep saying it. But ADP means average draft position. It's an incredible tool to kind of tell you where players are valued at in your fantasy football drafts. Cooper Kupp was going as the wide receiver 19, the 19th wide receiver off the board. Yeah. And obviously, he finished number one in all formats. The dude had 184 targets. Jason, did you know that?
No, I heard that he broke a record, but also it's a long season. So,
dude, no, this is in the regular 16 games. Oh no, it's not. This is 17. You're right. My fault. Anyways, 138 receptions. 1,829 yards and 15 touchdowns, dude. So
I didn't realize he was. Yeah, I didn't realize he was number one. That's
on a points per game basis. So Cooper Kupp's number one. Devontae Adams is number 2. He was 3.2 points per game better than Devontae Adams this season. Cooper Kupp, your fantasy football MVP. If and when when Jason and I do our awards show. Pencil it in. No, ink it in. Cooper Kupp MVP. But you said it, man. Jonathan Taylor was number 2. Number 3 is a wide receiver from the same division as Cooper Kupp, who just went bonkers. He finally had a healthy year. That should be it right there for you.
Deebo Samuel.
Deebo. That's my bike, punk. Dude, finished as the wide receiver 4. Just incredible. We finally saw what this dude can do if he stays healthy. And he even missed at least one game, I remember. Maybe 2. Did you have him anywhere, Jason?
I know his share of Debo. I was too scared of the injury.
Yeah. Crazy enough, the only share I had was in the Scott Fish Bowl.
Yeah, where did you end up in the Scott Fish Bowl?
I made it to the top 200. They don't really break it. So either you make it to the top 200 and then you make it to the top 20. So it knocks 180 folks out. I was one of those 180 folks that got knocked out.
Shit,
But I
that
think
sucks.
altogether, I was probably close to like the top 100, somewhere around there. But I didn't do the math or anything. But
Yeah.
it was good back because I had Cooper Cup and Debo Samuel. But
Do you get
Debo,
invited back?
I won't know until probably May, June time
So
frame.
my question is, how can I get in the Scott Fish Bowl?
We can. I got you. We'll talk about that. There's a couple people you got to follow on Twitter. You got to do a little interacting with some folks. We can. I'll share with you what I know. I'm no expert because this is obviously my first time. But you have to apply too. That's number one. We'll talk offline after this. Debo Samuel, ADP of wide receiver 35. Everybody was scared of that injury, man.
Yeah.
Why not? Why wouldn't you be?
Yeah. No. I mean, you have to put your foot down with players in fantasy, or like I gotta put my foot down with CMC, and you know it, and you know I'm gonna do it, and next season he won't have an injury.
Yeah.
And it'll be because I did it.
Yeah. I think that's going to be part of our lessons learned, man, is players are injury prone until they're not. And vice versa. You can have somebody,
So can you hold
Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins, right? Who's been an Iron Man for his whole career.
Yep.
Misses like the last 5-6 games of this season.
Mm-hmm.
What were you saying, Jason? I'm sorry.
Oh, nothing important.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing important. That's what I like to hear. Jamar Chase, he was the wide receiver 26th in ADP. I believe he was going somewhere in the 5th round or so. I was too scared, Jason, to be honest with you.
With Jamar Chase?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
To take him in the 5th round.
Ooh. No, I wouldn't have been too scared of that. Yeah. I would have liked that. Yeah. But you're not a college guy. And
no, I'm not.
And, dude, did you actually watch that championship? LSU and Clemson.
Bama? Oh, was it Clemson? No, you're right. It was Clemson.
It was Lawrence, yeah.
Oh, because it was Burrow and Lawrence.
Burrow versus Sunshine.
Burrow.
And
there's got to be some sort of nickname for him. I'll think about it while you're talking.
Yeah. Well, yeah, dude. Jamar Chase, I had watched him, earlier in the year, and I watched him in the game before, and then I watched him in that game. And, dude, I mean, it was just clear. It was clear he was just such a better athlete than anyone else on the field. I knew it would happen.
What's up, Anthony?
Good evening, Anthony.
Thanks for tuning in. Thank you. Good evening. Oops, I muted myself. It really has showed up in his yak. His yak ability. I've seen so many people on Twitter and different places. People have a lot more knowledge of the X's and O's of the game than I do.
Yeah.
They've been like, dude, already he is the best yak guy in the NFL.
Yeah.
With Debo out there, I don't believe that quite yet. However,
AJ Brown has that gift too.
AJ Brown does too, but he also has the gift of very weak ligaments. So
you have weak ligaments.
That's fair. I probably do.
You probably do.
Where are we at? Okay,
we're winning the Super Bowl. I'm not trying to hear about anything.
Goodness gracious!
Yeah,
you need to stop it. You need to stop it.
Derrick Henry's back.
Ugh. Is Taylor Lewan back?
Yeah, he's been back.
I thought he tore his ACL earlier this season.
Nope. Played last 2 games.
I'm literally gonna freaking take your face off the screen if you keep doing that. You're freaking everybody out, man. Oh, now this is a hell of a question, Jason, from Anthony.
Yeah.
In Dynasty, who do you prefer, Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase?
Jamar, because he has a younger quarterback and he has a younger and just ridiculously efficient, badass quarterback. Whereas Kirk Cousins, you don't ever. Kirk Cousins is traditionally disrespected. So I'm gonna go with where Joey B's at because we love Joey B. We're trying to smoke cigars. We're trying to have stogies with Joey B. And
One of these days.
and I mean, look what he does for Jamar and T Higgins, and they still have depth underneath that. Whereas the Vikings have no depth, and we don't know how long they're going to give Kirk Cousins. They drafted a guy that everybody was high on this year. In training camp, we'll see what happens next season. I think you'll be hearing a little bit more of that rookie. He'll be his second year. I'm trying to think of his name.
What are you talking about? For what team?
For the Vikings. They drafted him this year. It was a quarterback. He's actually Kellen Mond has made some waves in training camp this season. So let's see what we hear next season. But Kirk Cousins. It's not that Kirk Cousins is old by any standard, but I think Kirk Cousins might end up having a Ryan Fitzpatrick-like career where he's just so good, but people just aren't willing to wait on him. And I think we might see him journey around a little bit more.
So, funny, I kind of have the exact opposite opinion for the exact opposite reasons.
Okay.
I prefer Justin Jefferson because he's going to get everything from Kirk Cousins or whoever throws in the ball. Because in my opinion, Adam Thielen, this was his last relevant season. He's 31, 32 years old. Justin Jefferson was third among all wide receivers in targets with 160. Jamar Chase is down here at 124. It depends on how they want to. Okay, let's say this. Mike Zimmer's out. He's gone. They're probably going to bring in some. I would hope. My hope.
The worst thing they could ever do is get rid of Mike Zimmer. But go ahead.
Okay. Well, Mike Zimmer sucks as a head coach, but I'll just defensive coordinator, amazing. Head coach, not so much. They're going to bring somebody in who's not going to be like, we need to run the ball 35 times a game. Look how strong we are. Dude, I just think I don't know who's the better talent. I would say maybe Jamar Chase slightly over Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson already has 2 years, a year on Jamar Chase in the NFL. They're literally the same age. I think they're both 22.
Yep.
Jamar Chase has a better quarterback. Absolutely, Jason. I definitely agree with you there. But he also has a lot more competition in T. Higgins. Oh my God, Tyler Boyd. I couldn't think of his name for a second. And then and Joe Mixon. Whereas it's just Justin Jefferson and Dalvin Cook there at this point. So give me Jefferson, but just Anthony, flip a coin, man. Like honestly.
Yeah.
Either way, you're set. You're set for the next years.
Last thing I'll add is just Kirk Cousins hasn't been playing with Justin Jefferson for the last 4 years like Joe Burrow did. You know what I mean? Like there's a much longer history between the two. And
that is a really good point.
You don't need as many targets when you know exactly where to hit a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
That's a really, really, really good point, Jason. I do like that. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that's some champagne problems to have, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Let's freaking go. But I hope that I would say, where would you take him in a startup? I mean, that's really the biggest question. So let's say it's a non-super flex startup dynasty draft. I'm thinking JT is probably number one. That would be my guess.
Mm-hmm.
If it's me, after that, I'm looking at one of these two guys.
Yeah.
Or maybe in a non-super flex, this might sound gross. Maybe Kyle Pitts. I'm telling you, man, 21 years old, the kid has over 1,000, or he did hit over 1,000 yards receiving as a tight end on a trash team.
What happens when they just get like a wild hair up their ass and cut Matt Ryan?
That's good. Yeah, I mean,
I don't.
but dynasty's for the long haul. He's 21. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It usually takes tight ends until they're fucking 30 to really get going.
to
So
do
you got this guy.
anything.
Yeah, you got this guy. But anyways, good question, Anthony. I like that. Appreciate it, man. All right, on to the surprises from the running back position. I've
Yeah.
got two here, Jason. One was, excuse me, he was drafted as the running back 33, finished as the running back 7. And then the other was drafted as the wide receiver 84, and he finished as the running back 13. That one's pretty easy to know who that is. Oh, Cordero Patterson.
Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah, I didn't realize you were saying he's both. Yeah. Yeah, dude. What the world? You know?
Poor Mike
What
Davis.
the world? How's this guy just come out of nowhere? He's like, hey, yeah, by the way, I'm good at everything.
Yeah. And you know what I do? I score a touchdown every 6 touches. It's crazy.
Yeah. Stupid shit.
Dude, I wrote about him probably week 4 or 5 saying, hey, you need to sell him high now. I eventually was right, but it was like after the trade deadline. I'm like, damn you, Cordero.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. We have a segment later in the show where I think he's going to pop up again. So I'll leave it at that. But the other one, Jason, Leonard Fournette.
Yeah.
Leonard Fournette finished as the running back 7 on the year.
What were they calling him mid-season? Lenny
Lombardi Lenny, right? Or something like that?
Yeah, it might have been Lombardi Lenny. It was Lenny something.
Lenny Loggins. Sorry.
Yeah. I don't know, but
the danger zone.
I was shocked because it was one of my inclinations. I was like, one of two things is going to happen here. They're going to continue with the role they gave him last season, or this is going to be one of those classic dude blows up at the end of the season and carries over into the next. And I think what happened for a lot of people is that Tom Brady fooled them with how they always ran offenses in New England with guys like LeGarrette Blount, and we all said, "Oh, this is all this is," but no, it was actually a traditional carryover, and he was just amazing all season. So, yeah, it's just hard to make that call sometimes.
Yeah, man, and Ronald Jones was actually getting drafted one spot higher than him when I went back and looked at the ADP. And I wasn't calling for a Ronald Jones breakout or anything like that, but I did think that Ronald Jones would be like a 55-45 split, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of, you know what? Let's just give everything to Leonard Fournette. I mean, that dude made me look like a fool so many times. On the Sunday show, they were playing, it was when the Bucks played the Colts, and the Colts have just been incredible, and they have been incredible against running backs in fantasy. This motherfucker goes out and scores 4 touchdowns, makes me look like an asshole. But hey, man, what are you doing with him for next year? Do you think this continues?
As long as TB12's under center.
There's the caveat, right?
Right.
We'll definitely have some good
Actually, you know
what?
You know what? I'm stripping that back. Especially if TB12 is not under center. He is their best running back. You would be bringing a new quarterback in. He is Arians' number 1 guy in the backfield. Fuck that. I like Lenny regardless. Go ahead.
Lenny regardless. Okay.
Let's go ahead and lock him up because guess what? What, they're going to draft somebody? Okay, well, you know what? I'm not gambling on that right now.
Why would you? You have a top. I mean, Lenny was a top.
He's only 25?
He's young.
25?
Yeah. He was drafted in the 20. He was a 2018 class. No.
Yeah.
Was it 20? Fuck, dude. I can't remember. It was 2019, maybe.
Yeah. We were shocked last year.
We were shocked.
Yeah.
Because it was like, no, I believe it was the 2017. I think it was 2017. Because I think he was the head of the class. And then Dalvin, Kamara, like all these other guys ended up being better. But he's like 25.
Maybe better. We'll see.
Hey, so far.
He might age like wine, you know.
But man, I'm curious to see where Lenny goes in drafts next season. That's going to be. I've already started writing down some. I think I have like 8 or 9 players that I really want us to talk about as far as where they get drafted next year in like redraft, keeper, whatever. and then where they get what you're doing with them in dynasty. So we'll keep moving. But yeah, man, I tend to agree with you. I'm not drafting him as a probably top 10 running back next season. But if I have this feeling that his value will just kind of people are going to forget, man, because he was injured at the end of the fantasy season. People always forget players like him. So
Mm-hmm.
I think we might get some good value on Leonard.
Oh hell yeah, we absolutely will.
And then as far as I kind of skipped quarterbacks. I didn't really see any that just broke the mold, right? Jalen Hurts was good. I think he finished as a top 6, 7 quarterback.
And we told you he'd be good.
Yeah, so. But he was getting drafted as a top 10 quarterback by the time that draft season was around. Same thing with Tom Brady. I preached Tom Brady all damn off season. I said if he's there in the 7th or 8th round, you had best jump on him. By the end of it, he was going in I think I can tell you here in a second. He was going in the middle of the 6th round. So nobody really returned a whole bunch of value. Justin Herbert was great.
Yeah.
He finished as the number 2 overall quarterback, but he was getting drafted at the end of the 5th round. To me, there's none in there that were like Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson, right? That were getting drafted 16th, 15th, and just blew the competition out of the water. But I will tell you about this one guy, Jason. Plays for one of the best teams in the NFL. He's a tight end. You used him to mediocre effect against me. Who is it?
His name's Dalton Schultz, and he did a really good job against you.
He's doing a good job all season, man.
All season.
This guy, drafted as a tight end 38. 38. 37 other tight ends. Now, granted, Blake Jarwin did, I think, get hurt like the very first game, or it was like preseason, or it was something wild. Again, Blake Jarwin, damn it. Oh, no. He got injured on his first catch of the season. Now I remember it.
Yep.
He had like an 18-yard catch or some nonsense, but finished as a tight end 6 in per game scoring, tight end 4 overall.
Mm-hmm.
I think you got to roll with him as a top 8 option going into next season.
As long as you guys do something with Jarwin. I'm still a little concerned, but we'll see.
I just think Schultz has earned that playing time.
I think he has too, but I'm not Mike McCarthy.
Thank God. I hate Mark McCarthy. Well, I can't even. I can't talk about Mike McCarthy right now. He pisses me off too bad.
Yeah, I can understand. My coach is way better than yours, so I understand.
I won't even lie about that. I won't even put up a front or anything. So I had the surprises on this one. I, in my infinite wisdom, totally forgot to put busts down, but we can certainly go over a couple real quick. Jason,
right.
hit me with one.
A big time bust?
How about bust.
Fucking Christian McCaffrey, and not just Christian McCaffrey, but Chuba Hubbard. They both suck, and they both fucking can't play for shit. And
that's the one I was looking for, man. I mean, realistically, any running back that you drafted in the first round. I mean, let's just go through. I'm going to go through the top. What? Let's go through the top 10 running backs drafted last season. Christian McCaffrey.
Yep.
Hurt. Dalvin Cook. Absolutely crushed my soul in week 17. He was okay throughout the season. Anyways, Derrick Henry was number 3.
Henry.
Broke his foot. Alvin Kamara, incredibly underwhelming.
Yep.
Zeke, mediocre. Definitely.
No, he scored 3 points. Incredibly underwhelming.
Oh yeah, in week 17 for sure. I'm just saying, in the overall arching thing of the season, he might have returned a tiny bit of value. Nick Chubb,
hurt a lot.
Yeah, yep. Aaron Jones, meh.
Because AJ Dillon.
Jonathan Taylor though,
nasty as hell.
JT. Went to the wrong thing here, and then our 10th running back off the board was Saquon Barkley.
Oof.
So that's what? 9 out of the top 10.
9 out of the top 10.
We can argue that Derrick Henry return value when you had him, but at the end of what do you always say, Jason? Your greatest ability is
Availability.
boom. Um, so, dude, I hate to. You know what? We're going to jump around a little bit.
Okay.
One of our lessons learned. You don't know I put this in the show doc.
Okay.
But just so everybody knows, everybody watching right now, we are going to do a full episode deep dive on lessons learned from the 2021 fantasy football season. Jason has been saying this to me a couple times, said it to the group chat a couple times. He really thinks this is the year that you should have went. This is the year that zero RB strategy would have worked.
Mm-hmm.
Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I only saw 5 running backs show up in the championship game. I saw tons of injuries throughout the entire year. I questioned every week, had there ever been this many injuries? And I thought, and I said, if you ran a team of all wide receivers, you're probably going to be the most dominant team in your league if you had the right picks. Can you imagine a guy chipping away at running backs and you're stocking up on Cooper Kupp and Devontae Adams and shit like that? I mean, that really think about it, because when I say zero RB, you think, oh, okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. But really think about this season. Really think about the receivers that were available to you, and really think about had you just went straight for the throat. You know what I mean? And come back and later in the draft got you a Damian Harris,
Yeah.
got you a freaking, I don't know, shit, help me out here. There's got to be another guy I'm not thinking of.
Leonard Fournette. I mean,
or Lenny.
there's plenty. I mean, you could have went, let's say, running a wide receiver first 2 rounds, which I'll talk about in here in a second, and you could have grabbed maybe got a Najee Harris in the 3rd round, maybe.
Yeah.
Who Najee Harris was incredibly good.
Yeah.
I probably couldn't have got you an Austin Eckler, but we'll talk about too. If anybody
which actually he was down there. I take that back. He was down there. You could have went wide receiver Austin Eckler. He was down there. Now that I think about it,
I'm gonna look. Obviously, I'm looking at Fantasy Pros. They take 4 different places. So Austin Eckler was going overall around 15 overall. So right at the beginning of the 2nd round. So
I didn't experience that, but
no, I didn't either. Honestly, in a lot of drafts that I saw, he was going more towards. Also, I do a lot of Superflex stuff too. So
we were in a lot of Superflex. We were a lot of Dynasty.
Yeah.
But I still didn't see the guy.
But I mean, you could have had. Josh Jacobs was pretty serviceable throughout this year. You could have got a DeAndre Swift, who was really good. Obviously, he tapered off towards the end. But at that point, Jason, you could have had, you could have picked up an Eli Mitchell or, a Cordero Patterson. You could have had him on your team.
The kid from the Jets was serviceable all year.
Michael Carter. Yep.
He was. Yeah, dude, this was the year to just stock up on receivers, and we just didn't know it.
Here's my concern though, Jason. I'll tell you, is that out of the top. So I'm looking at the wide receiver ADP right here. The top 6 wide receivers: Devontae Adams, obviously a hit. That's easy peasy. God damn it, sorry. Tyreek Hill, bust. Tyreek Hill was a bust. This because Patrick Mahomes is a bust, or he wasn't as good as Stephon Diggs. Compared to where you had to take him, bust.
Yep.
DK Metcalf, incredibly bust.
Incredible bust. He had quarterback went out. His quarterback went out though.
That's true. But then you had, who did I just leave off? DK. You had DeAndre Hopkins, and then to round that out, you had Calvin Ridley.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So that's hard, man. That's hard. So even with the zero RB strategy, if you're taking 2 of those guys somehow. Let's see. Could you have got? Yeah, you could have gotten one Devontae and then DK or something like that. You would have been set at one part, but the other part would have been pretty bad. So I semi-agree with you, Jason. I semi-agree with you.
No, but are we back to the conversation about this being the most injury-plagued year ever?
Oh, I don't even think that needs to be a conversation. I think it's I think you're 100% true.
Okay.
I am personally not going to go through all injury reports for the
Yeah.
past 10 years, but I guarantee you somebody on Twitter is going to do that. And when they do, we will absolutely give them credit for their hard work and hopefully really great writing. But we'll take advantage of that and we'll really see because, dude, it's rough out there.
It was a wasteland. I don't know how I pulled three together. I deserve
You
my
know,
triple crown.
it's just luck, I would say. But but just kind of to go along with the zero RB strategy, the draft strategies in general. I have one lessons learned, and it's not really necessarily a lessons learned for me. It's more of a reminder.
Yeah.
You have to do this. Let the draft come to you. Um, Jason and I used to have a guy in our league that he was very much a zero RB guy, and we knew it. And I think sometimes he would force wide receiver picks when they were really good running backs on the board. And sometimes I can be a little bit old schooled and old fashioned, and I can force running back picks when there's good wide receivers on the board. Let your draft board fall to you. Get value when people are letting value. I don't give a shit if you have four wide receivers. Well, maybe this is being a little hyperbolic, but if you have four wide receivers in your first 4 rounds, you're probably looking pretty good. Like if you're getting value every single time, it shouldn't be even an issue. But
Yeah. With the way running backs work. We talked about the conundrum
yeah,
that is Jonathan Taylor earlier. I mean,
yeah,
you have we know that running backs don't carry that much weight contractually. Like they're not going to be around forever, and we can plug and play. But then we have a guy who shows up and he's an MVP contention, and it's just a complete mind fuck. So
and the crazy thing was, man, is we had 2 running backs from the same division that were in MVP contention.
mhm.
If Derrick Henry hadn't got hurt,
Yep,
and
it'd be
obviously we're
hard. It would
saying,
be hard to tell it right now, yeah, because he probably would have repeated that 2K performance.
dude, I bet Derrick Henry's still like top 10 in rushing yards right now. I'm about to
He
look it up.
probably is at 10. Yeah, I was
I'm about
thinking
to
that.
look that shit up, dude.
If he did, he fell out to like 13 or 14.
Yeah, there's
But you know what?
yards.
We're about to. What's he
Dude,
at?
I want you to guess. I want you to guess where he's at.
11.
Nope.
9. 7. 4.
He's at 6.
Wow.
Derrick Henry has not played. Derrick Henry has played 8 games. 8 games. And he is 6th in the NFL in rushing.
Wow.
Goodness gracious alive.
And
That
he's
dude was
coming
on
back.
the Taurus, like just the craziest pace of all time.
And just so y'all know, he's in the building. And he might practice tomorrow. And that doesn't mean anything for Houston. But we're going to win that game. And then we're going to take that bye week. And then you're going to see a fresh Derrick Henry, game 1, AFC playoffs. And I'll just say, pray to your God. Pray to him now.
Oh, hold on. Dang it. I got a couple comments in the oh god, no. Got a couple comments. It's not showing up in our chat here. Sorry.
Yeah, I got you.
All right. So our buddy Josh Jarrett, our official
Josh?
Yeah, Josh is in here commenting, talking about Najee being all. I think it was for when we did our top 10 or whatever. Najee was 11. Josh, just FYI.
It was Josh Jarrett?
Josh Jarrett, yeah, he was saying a little
Well, I'll be damned.
Yeah, Josh Jarrett was in here. But Hey man, Najee crushed it, and I expect him to be taken within the top 5 running backs next season.
Oh yeah,
He should be at least.
I think so.
Um, God bless America. So I'm trying to get these other comments, y'all. My bad.
Yeah, go for it.
But my phone is just being a piece of trash. Okay. Anywho, we'll go to our hits and misses real quick. Jason, we got about 10 minutes left. It looks like. Jason, you hit on. You don't have this in front of you, do you?
I don't have it in front
Okay.
of me.
T. Higgins.
Yeah. All right. Look, every year the draft comes around, and we go looking for that giant guy who reminds us of Calvin Johnson, and we try to find Megatron all over again. And every year we all go draft a guy because the guy on ESPN tells you his measurables are insane. And it's very rare that they actually translate. Very rare to get a DK Metcalf. It's very rare to get an AJ Brown. It's very rare to get a T Higgins. These players are super, incredible with their. I mean, look at Alan Lazard. That guy shouldn't actually see any playing time, but because Green Bay refuses to get Aaron Rodgers any weapons, we see 6'5" and what it can do. And I look at T. Higgins the same way. I'm not trying to, and I prefaced it that way because I'm not trying to sit here and toot my own horn. I'm trying to paint a picture to anyone who's listening. There are guys who have incredible measurements, or score incredibly high. Sorry, score incredibly high. And then there are
incredible
guys
measurements.
Incredible measurements. What they you get my point. There are guys who do this,
yeah,
and then they don't have a football mind. They're not really able to. They're not able to move at that next level, and that's what the thing that's hard to define to people is like, hey, it got a lot faster. I don't think I can really explain to you how much faster it got.
And I think that there's some players that are big like that, Jason, that have the measurables, that have all that other stuff, that don't. They never learn how to play the pro style, like you're saying. They don't have good coaching, whatever the case. Maybe they don't have the mentality for it. But T. Higgins has put that size together. Dude, it catches everything. Contested catches? Are you freaking kidding me?
Ridiculous.
Like, throw it up. He's going to catch it. So I love the T. Higgins. You killed that. Dalton Knox. I do now remember you being high on him.
Yeah, well, we had an episode about like if you really are screwed at tight end because we knew tight end was a terrible position. Like who might break through? And I said back then, like, I watch a lot of Good Morning Football, and Dalton Knox was on there. Oh yes, I do. All about K. But no, dog. But they had a segment on there about angry runs. And Dalton Knox was just straight running through motherfuckers. And I was like, wow, this dude is tough. And then I started thinking, okay, so Cat can play like this, and you've got, an amazing physical quarterback behind you. You guys match each other. You complement each other's styles. And I could just kind of see it coming. And I'm glad it translated. So I was really happy we got in front of that one.
Yeah, absolutely. He was, dude, all he does is catch touchdowns. And then your last hit of obviously we had a bunch of hits, but Jalen Hurts called it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, God. Oh, man. Everyone was so scared. Me and you were both like, nah, man. Nah.
He's going to run the hell out of the ball. Like,
yeah.
Who cares? All right. My hits, I'll hit them real quick. Brandon Cooks, he was the only person to catch freaking passes. I gave that to Jason, that punk ass call. Dude, he caught a touchdown within like 2 minutes of the game starting. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
You knew it was going to happen.
And also, Josh Jarrett did comment that your win was definitely because of luck. And he was saying his future keeper, Najee Harris. That's who we forgot to mention. Oh, we did mention him. I believe that's what he was saying.
Yeah.
And then Tom Brady, I was saying earlier, I was telling everybody, 7th, 8th round. That's an auto draft for me. He finished number 3, 4 overall. I mean, shut up. I hate it so bad. Jason, what he does with this show is he rewatches it right before draft and he just takes notes about what I say. And then I was super right on Robert Tunyon, which leads us to our misses.
Fuck you.
Jason certainly missed on Robert Tunyon.
I certainly did. Good God
Dude,
Almighty.
Miles Sanders, you have down for one of your misses. You know what?
It's the scheme.
Yes.
Because why is he suddenly good when Jalen Hurts comes out of the game? It's the scheme.
Why weren't they running the ball the first 6 freaking weeks of the season?
So, yeah, they ran a different offense before Sirianni came along. I led myself to believe they would give him a JT kind of role. I never really saw it. And if they did, it was just poor offensive line play. And, the quarterback maybe they were expecting the quarterback to run. I don't know. But they were always coming down on Miles. But as soon as you put Gardner Minshew in there, and people have to consider he might throw the ball, holy shit, Miles Sanders is suddenly a 15-point-a-week guy.
Yeah.
It's aggravating.
Well, it seems so hopeful, too, because you had said, all offseason, when Miles Sanders played with Jalen Hurts, 17.5 fantasy points per game. He comes in week 1 and scores like 17.5 fantasy points per game.
It was on the nose. Yeah, I was like,
yeah, you're like, oh. And then it was too good to be true. But I'll say this: I still like Miles Sanders in the future, moving forward. I think we'll definitely have bounce back shows, all that other bullshit. But he's going to definitely be a bounce back candidate for me.
For sure.
As far as my misses goes, Joe Mixon, I own that one proudly. Don't care. He is dead to me. He was dead to me. I'll think about drafting him next year. I was wrong on TJ Hawkinson. Hawk was injured. Jared Goff, you were right about that, Jason. I mean, just awful. Just awful, if you will. Actually, no, I think you were the one saying that he was halfway decent.
No, I said he was a good quarterback, but they didn't give any receivers, so I didn't want any part of it.
Yeah, got you. So, but Hawk also got injured. He ended up. I said on this show he would end up as a top 3 tight end. He was not. He was a top 6 tight end. So I will strike that as a miss. And then me, along with the rest of every single fantasy person in the world, I missed on Allen Robinson. I don't know what happened.
No, I still put him in the top 10. You're right,
dude. No idea. No idea what happened.
Not going to stress about it. You know what we did get right that you didn't mention? Amon-Ra St.
Raw, dude. Yeah, we did. We got that right. Yeah, he scored like 30 freaking points in week 17.
I was terrified,
dude. I needed it to get even within 70 points of your punk ass.
I was so mad at him.
You were like, never again.
Yeah,
dude. I like. He's one of the players I have written down. We're definitely going to talk about his dynasty value and his value for next season.
Oh, hell yeah.
But that right there, ladies and gentlemen, fantasy friends, was our brief little overview of the 2021 fantasy football season. I hope sincerely that y'all won at least one championship. Jason and I both won multiple. Jason is a Triple Crown winner. He will have the trophy. I'm sure you're going to have the trophy behind you, cradled in your arms at some point during the podcast.
I'll probably hug it throughout the next episode.
Okay. I'll cry. I'll just cry throughout the next episode then. It's good.
Where's the belt? Where's the belt?
Oh, I got Burnham, our former champion in our Dynasty League. I'm our main Dynasty League champion, which feels so good.
Sure.
He lives in in Michigan. So I gotta hit him up and get him to send that old sucker. But the belt will probably be right there, actually.
If we can make that happen, let's make it happen.
Hell yeah. We got to. But there was something else I wanted to mention, but now I can't remember because I'm not professional. I didn't write it down. But for real, it was a fun fantasy football. It was a challenging fantasy football season more than anything else.
And I hope we helped you.
Yes, I hope we helped you. This we will still talk about fantasy during this off season, but for the next 5, 6 episodes, this is going to be a strictly NFL podcast.
Oh yeah.
We're not talking any fantasy. So
Bring
next,
your opinions.
yes, bring your ass and bring your opinions and bring your ass opinions. Um, I don't know. There's something there. Um, Next week we're going to have our my good buddy from Going for Two, Mike Hicks, on here. Mike is a huge Kansas City fan, so him and Jason, I'm sure, will have some fun things to talk about. But we're going to preview the entire playoffs, AFC and NFC. It's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. But yeah, next week, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Arizona time, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Jason, tell the folks how they should live for the rest of this week.
You better live strong.
So strong.
I've been
Live like Jason.
I've been teaching you for over a year now.
Oh, I'll just tell you this. I'll tell you one more thing and then we'll leave. Jason has been the most, I've known this guy since 2005. This is the most smug, arrogant version of this man. He's usually a really nice, humble, big old teddy bear. He has been an asshole since Sunday. And someone help me because I just can't deal with it anymore.
No, he fucking deserves it. Don't listen to him.
I probably do. All right. For Jason, for myself, we are your fantasy friends and we're out of here. One last thing. Tran, put a finger in.